Alright. This is RVtalks.
Episode 7 with...
Convict music.
Akon.
That's what I was to say.
Akon.
Stuck to my shoe like bubble gum. Though you were sweet.
Another example, I'm gonna shit on you a little bit here. Not on you personally, but like the whole song she sang at the Grammys. I don't remember the title, but it was so good, man. Go look it up if you're watching this shit. It was so good. And I was like, damn, like I need to do some research on this song. Had like 7 writers. I was like,
really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, I don't
7
mean to, like,
writers for not that many lyrics. It took 7 people to write
Have you seen
that.
that Beyonce thing?
And I
It's,
hate it.
Who Runs the World? Girls. It had like 26 writers.
what a lot of mega
Like,
stars
who?
do,
Run?
and it's tough because like I really like when people aren't just like a factory.
Yeah.
Because if you can sing pretty, that's dope. But when your mind is making good songs,
Yeah.
I respect that so goddamn much. So like for instance, some celebrities have been known to like rent out a hotel and just put like 25 writers in there, and just whoever makes the best song, that's the one they take for that weekend.
Okay, here's my argument though. Is like in dance, that's like so acceptable. Like it's, there's nothing wrong with being a great dancer, but not being able to choreograph. You know what I mean?
But as a choreographer,
so it's like a really great film, or like that would be like, to me that's like saying like every actor needs to write the movies that they're in.
Yeah, that's
That's true.
No, director. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of directors that don't write their shit, but yet they direct a great movie.
But I think it's different because right now, like the whole like dance thing, it's you're a shit dancer if you can't freaking freestyle, and every single freestyle.
So that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Every single freestyle dancer, it's the same thing. It's like you're creating your own art.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like Demi Lovato could probably write a song.
Yeah.
But it may not be as good as the song that these 7 people wrote.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like every dancer could probably freestyle, or every actor could probably write a film, but it may not be as good as
somebody that
But it does take away the authenticity of it, because her saying like, I wrote this song when I was in my lowest times. You and 7 other writers wrote it when you were in your lowest times,
and the
like
thing
together.
The thing that's actually written about, because that's the difference, is that a director and actor, it's separate. Demi Lovato, that's her life.
Yeah,
it's real. Like it's,
I get that.
Yeah. She's actually painting a picture of her life to us, and so like when she says, I'm not even like, let's take it back a step from that. The things that she talks about in her songs, like no one's listening. I remember that's some shit that she said. Like no one hears me. But like, obviously,
did you say that? Like,
there's several people who wrote the song with you, and you're singing in front of, you know what I'm saying? And I get
Well, that goes with Billie too in her new song. She was talking about how like nobody cares if she dies and blah blah blah. But like, dude, if she died, I'm pretty sure everybody would care.
But
just kind of like what Demi said.
But no one that she would care.
What do you mean?
Like, you know?
That's what they're meaning.
What do I have to do in order to be a writer on a song?
I know, man. Well,
like, what's the threshold?
A lot of times, man. A lot of times, to be honest with you.
No, like I'm saying,
to be written on the credits.
If she maybe she wrote the song and passed it through 7 people.
Sure.
Does that count as them being right? That's what I'm asking.
A lot of times,
they have to be.
A lot of times, what happens is the singer puts like, I mean, from my understanding, the singer puts a little spin on it.
Yeah.
They're a writer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They put it through the factory. They say this, and I'm like, oh well, I kind of like it better this.
Yeah.
Writer. But it could happen the other way too.
Yeah.
They could write it, and
you're right. So that's what I'm saying is like we
don't
don't really truly know.
It's
like
true.
maybe she
It's true.
did write the song, but then 7 people proofed the song.
Or just been like, oh, you should change this one word.
Exactly.
Right.
I
don't know. I like her. I think she's super talented and stuff. I just, like I said, like for me, it's like
There's
a
something.
personality thing.
There's that it factor that I don't get. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, no.
The likable, like the likableness of her for me isn't like there.
Man. And maybe it's my subliminal, being like the Camp Rock girls. Not like in my 20-year-old head, I'm like, yeah, right. And maybe it's just like the whole Disney Channel.
Well, how did you guys feel about Tyler the Creator's?
God, are people watching are gonna be like, again, dog? We talk about this so goddamn.
I love him. I think he's such a troll.
The
speech
when they asked him about what he thought of getting
nominated
rap album.
Yeah.
I think it was dope, man. I mean, I said this last time. I do agree with him. Urban's just, it's black people.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I actually heard something. This might be a misquote. Don't quote me on this, but I have heard that since like before 2000, like maybe like the 80s or something like that, or maybe since the existence of it, there's not been one white person nominated for Urban Album of the Year. Not one. That tells you something.
Yeah.
But I could be it could be not that. I'll have to look it up.
Well, what I'm confused. He just was saying that he's like he thinks that they're like
He
they
thinks-
give it to him because it's like a rap album, right?
That-
or like what?
right.
So part of it was he doesn't think it was a rap album. He thought that if
I don't
anything, he
either.
should have been nominated for
I
album
don't
of the
either.
year
It's
and not
Igor,
rap
right?
album of the year.
Is that the one he's talking about?
And then he was saying that they, instead of nominating him for album of the year, which is where he felt it should have been, they gave
him something else,
the
like a
Urban
diss.
album of the
Okay.
year.
Kind of, but like almost
as
just
like
like
a backhanded compliment.
almost
type
like
is how he felt.
yeah, you're dope, but like not in our
But like
lane.
not dope.
Yeah.
That like not
Yeah.
that dope.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And I get it because
get it,
to
like-
them, to those, I mean, this is fucked up, but to those old white people, they don't hear Tyler the Creator and Target.
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
They hear Ariana Grande.
But
And
he's
they're like, oh,
but,
dope.
I mean, all things aside, it's definitely not a rap album.
It's not. I don't
No,
think
it's
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 not.
not even
it's
like
not.
remotely.
I mean, there's verses, but it's not. It's experimental, I think, or like
It's
pop.
a cool
I guess.
album, but I don't know really what it is.
I don't know either.
What is it?
There's so much music now that you can't classify.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just
Yeah.
be like,
So
I'm a
like,
country
it's kind of hard for these people that are voting now.
What
like,
is not-
like fuck,
not
what do we
sex?
put? Where do we put
You're
things?
Yeah, I get that.
It's getting harder and harder for people on like where they should put.
There's
like,
gray
certain-
areas.
Yeah.
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 New genre has got to be for.
They just gotta cut all
Rap
genres out and
country.
just make it one big
Where do you
prize.
put Old Town
Well,
Road?
it's
Rap
easy
country.
because we have this. For me, as a musician, I have such an easy goddamn way to post stuff and see if people like it and experiment. Whereas before, in the 70s, I'd have to go to a, I don't know, let's just say like a country, label.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I need you to brand me as this country artist.
Right.
Give me a cowboy hat that I can wear all the time, and take me with this famous country star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I don't have to open for anybody. People
Right.
can watch my YouTube and stream my music and see if they like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's way easier to.
Like you had to be categorized from the
approach.
beginning at
And
first.
before
Yeah.
it wasn't like fiscally doable.
Right.
They couldn't just put you on and be like, oh shit, we'll spend $1 million at a shot in the dark. It's not smart.
Right.
But now, it costs $20 for a DistroKid membership. Just put it out. See if
Yeah.
people like. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's gonna get crazier too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So many good. and
Well, that's
horrible
even like
things about the world.
Ryan Leslie. Like what Ryan Leslie has done is like
I don't know who that is.
super
It
wild.
is either.
So he was a rapper and a producer, and then he seemingly like dropped off of like music.
Oh, I know who he is.
But he's actually like wildly successful because what he figured out is, so what he realized is that he had like a huge following. Like this was right when social media was first starting. He had like a huge following, but he wasn't capitalizing on the following. He was just capitalizing on like who was listening to his music at the moment, and there was no interaction. So he started this company where he was able to like text message any of his fans could subscribe to this text message service, and then he could text them directly. So then what he would do is he would text out, so he'd have like say 1,000 fans on this list, right? Which to like a normal artist is like, okay, like a thousand tickets sold, like that's nothing. But what he was doing was he was texting those 1,000 people and saying, hey, I have 500 tickets to an exclusive show that I'm doing tonight in this city, and the tickets are $500. And because they were his like true fans, it would be like instant.
Yeah.
So he was making like he still does this now. He's making like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars without even having to make new music, because he's just capitalizing on like his true and core fan base. But like half of people don't even know who he is. When in reality, he's like, you would.
I've heard his name, but I don't know what
Yeah, and it's crazy, like his story. And then what he did is he turned around and sold that platform
To other artists.
That's dope.
and to other businesses. and
I've
stuff.
heard of that texting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
crazy.
he's the one that like pioneered all of that.
That's crazy shit, man.
Yeah, and he's like one of those, and like the whole joke of it is like he's one of those artists that people are like, oh, like he fell off, like he doesn't make any money. But in reality, he's
really,
like
he's richer than all you.
super successful
dope.
because of like that like loophole that he found with his fans.
That's dope.
And it was like a way for him to
following.
like, yeah, exactly. And he was like, it got to the point where I could literally do it like the day of, like I'm gonna be at this bar tonight. This is how much tickets are, and people would buy them and show up.
I don't think I'm a fan of anyone that much to pay that much money for a stupid concert.
All right, we gotta wind down. What do you guys got going?
Show the shirts.
These shirts.
They're good looking. We like the green and we like the red.
We don't know if it's gonna stay
the
this
font's
color.
Let us
amazing.
know what you think. We'll put the link in the description.
Vote.
We will.
Yeah.
Also, we have a dance workshop coming up
Ooh, where do they find
for all
it?
you dancers.
How do you find it?
You know,
Everything's
yeah.
at shopcomedy.com.
Yeah.
That's where you can sign up for newsletter.
Or just follow you on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Change to Become.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Waller? Same old, same old?
You know. I'll see you next time.
It's got cute hoodies
Oh, yeah, I
with
got.
little bees on them.
I will restock soon. I don't know when, but
That's it, dog. Cool. Peace.
bye.